Hello everyone. When I tell people that I'm a tour operator, they wonder, what the heck are you doing here? So I'm not going to talk about my travel business. I'm just going to tell you about some innovation that's happening in this city, Calicut. In 1993, my girlfriend of that time invited me to meet up with some people that she met. Of course, girlfriends are intelligent. They know what is good for you. And she told me that this is your place. It's kind of a place that you will enjoy. And this place was the Pain and Palliative Care Society, which was just a one-room, small initiative that started in the Calicut Medical College. I think it was about end of 1993. And I went in there just to figure out, what are these guys doing? And then what I saw was there were 2 doctors, 2 nurses, 2 volunteers, and a couple of other guys supporting the initiative from outside. And what they were trying to do was to alleviate the pain of mostly cancer patients, terminally ill patients. And these 2 anesthetists who started this, they wanted to make their life better. So they had learned about pain management, they had learned about palliative medicine. And what they started in 1993 in that small little dressing room of one of the founders has grown into a movement. Maybe some of you might have already heard about it. What started in that small clinic is now grown into about 240 clinics run by NGOs all over Kerala, about 450 such clinics run by the local self-governments, mostly the panchayats, and about 10 such initiatives run by the governments. Last year, this initiative was also recognized by the World Health Organization as its only collaborating center outside the developed world. There are only 5 such centers, ours is the 5th one, and none in the least developed economy. But how did they achieve all these things? So just to give you some ideas about what happened in this whole palliative care was, if you look at the Western model, when you are terminally ill or when you are incurably ill, you are confined to a hospice. They are provided very high quality of life, they are taken care of, but in an Indian perspective, or maybe even many other Asian perspective, we are people who would love to live in a community. We like to die among our people. So what these people did was they created neighborhood networks where they train, if I am sick, I am looked after by my neighbors. They are trained on how to use medicines, how to give injections, how to give counseling, how to listen to them. And this created such a trigger that now 90% of the palliative care needed in our entire country of India is taken care of by people in Kerala. And how are we doing this? We do not have much of an institutional grant. We do not have much of a large scale funding. Of course, we have received certain fundings in the beginning, but these initiatives are entirely run by people like you and I. I'll just give you one small example of one gentleman. We call him very passionately as Gopi. So what Mr. Gopalakrishnan he does is he's a retired officer from the Indian Railways. So he heard about palliative care movement that is happening here in Calicut. And he came across to our Institute of Palliative Medicine here in Medical College and said, what can I do for you guys? We said, we don't know, you figure out. And he said, I would like to help raise funds for you. And then we said, yeah, that will be interesting. What support do you want? He said, no, I don't need any support. I just want an association. I want to let you know that I am doing this. So what he did is, every day he goes to some part of Calicut city. He stands there with a small little whiteboard, and there it is written, I'm Gopalakrishnan, I'm a retired railway officer, and I'm a volunteer of Pain and Palliative Care Society. Please give me 1 rupee to support the palliative care movement. So you should see Gopalakrishnan because he's like, very aristocratic looking. He stands with his golden trimmed cane, walking stick, and then he has this beautiful mustache, which actually he says he brings the polish all the way from France, to polish it. And such a man standing in the middle of the city, maybe SM Street or it could be railway station or such places, and then people stop by because you don't expect such a person to be standing there. And then when they read this, he has it in Malayalam, he has it in English, just one small little whiteboard. And this man, what he has achieved is, he talked to 100,000 people in the last 20 months. He talked to them about what palliative care is. He talked to them about what palliative care volunteers like him are doing. And he said how this initiative has changed lives in Calicut, also in other parts of Kerala. So now in this 20 months, after talking to 1 lakh people, 100,000 people, he raised 4 lakhs of rupees. The money is used for treating poor patients. All the treatment that we provide are free. We don't charge anything from anyone. But such initiatives from volunteers are basically running this. But at the same time, the success of this entire palliative care initiative in Kerala is that it has gone beyond the definition of what palliative medicine is. Most academics might not agree with what I'm talking about here, because the initial concentration on terminally ill cancer patients, here what we did was to redefine the whole scenario in a way that we are looking at even incurably ill people. So just to give you one example about how we are doing this, or how we got involved in this. We had a young boy, 21 years old, who came to our clinic because he fell down from a coconut tree, unfortunately, and he had a major spinal injury, confined to wheelchair for a lifetime. Can you let this boy live like that? I don't think so. For us, it was like we wanted to make a difference to this boy. So what we did was to engage him in a socio-economic rehabilitation initiative that started in the Institute of Palliative Medicine, which is called the Footprints. So for such people, we provide training, we provide them the raw materials to make simple things like pens out of bamboos, assemble umbrellas which you can use during sun or monsoons, and whatever money that can be earned out of selling these products are given back to the patients and their families. So not many people in palliative medicine think about the family and the environment and the surroundings and the environment in which the patients live. Here what we have done is to look into that particular aspect where it's not just about the patient, it's beyond the patient. There's an encompassing atmosphere that you need to engage in it. So we engage people in that. So now this boy, for example, now last year he even got married with one of our volunteers. You know, so these kind of initiatives have taken the palliative care movement to a different scale. And now why I'm excited so much about this is palliative care in Calicut or in rest of the Kerala is not necessarily confined only to the biomedical definitions. It's gone far beyond it. Just another example is that last year, beginning of last year, 2011, we got a call from the city police commissioner. He said, I've arrested about 60 teenagers. The youngest is about 13 and the oldest is about 17. And I've arrested them for stealing smartphones and bikes. And he said, if I'm arresting these boys through the typical legal process, they will forever be branded as criminals. I do not want that to happen. And then he asked, what can you guys do about it? So this is the social acceptance of palliative care movement now in Kerala. Those people who were concentrating on or focusing on looking after patients with terminal illness or incurable illness are now occupying a larger social space. The amount of innovation that happens. And if you look at certain statistics, it's actually crazy, really crazy. The Economist Intelligent Report last year came out with an analysis about what is happening all around the world in palliative care, and India was at the bottom. They had surveyed about 45 countries and we were at number 45. But in the same report, they were also talking about how the Calicut model or the Kerala model is a beacon of hope. How is this happening? This is not happening because there was an institutional fund. This is not happening because there was a big grant coming from the government, but this is because people like you and I are ready to look at what is there in front of us and deciding that I want to make a change. I want to be useful today. This morning, actually 1 hour ago, I had no idea what I'm going to talk about. So I posted on my Facebook and told my friends, I have no idea what I'm going to talk about. Today is a TEDx talk. So one of my friends, she posted telling, just go and talk about what inspires you, what makes you get up in the morning and do all the things that you passionately do. For me, my journey as a social entrepreneur, it started not in my business. It started in palliative care. In 1993, when I was actually struggling to understand what cost accounting was, what bookkeeping was, and flunking all my exams, I took 5 years to pass my below common sense BCom. It's only 3 years. Because it was so boring, because it was not me. I was not making any difference. I'm not saying cost accounting is not good, but it was not my thing. But the moment my girlfriend, when she took me to meet our friends at the Pain and Palliative Care Society, I saw my world opening up. It changed my life. It gave me a reason every day to wake up and think, I want to be a better person. I still am not. I'm struggling. I'm trying my best. So that inspiration, it came from seeing how selflessly these volunteers are looking after these patients. And you should see, if you guys ever get an opportunity, it's very nearby. You should just go to the Institute of Palliative Medicine and see how people like you are working there. There are some boys, they are in the school for 6 hours. After that, they come back. They spend 1 hour, 2 hours. And this palliative medicine campus has become one of the largest social space in Calicut now. So they are not only there because they want to do something useful, they are also there because one girl, I remember when we asked her, why are you here? She said, I found myself. So this initiative is happening here in Calicut. And similarly, what we are trying to do now, ever since we got the WHO collaborating center status, it doesn't bring any money or anything, but it's a recognition. We have a mandate now to train neighboring countries, about 4 neighboring countries, as well as 2 countries in Africa. Countries that are struggling for resources. All around the world, the governments are struggling to bring in health, budget for health. And here there are innovations like this happening. So we believe by using platforms like this, if we can inspire 1 or 2 persons, that changes everything for us. And I hope we'll be able to create a better places for people to live. Thank you so much.